Hello everybody, my name is Nur and I'll be teaching you how to make a Turkish mosaic lamp today. Let's get started with the kit content. We have a glass globe. It can change based on the model that you have, the size I mean. And we have lamp parts. It comes with US plug. And we have hand cut glass tiles and glass beads. And also we have instruction book with all the pattern guidance and also template papers that you can find inside. Also, it comes with LED light, a special glue, and materials for grouting. I'll be explaining this at the end. So let's get started with only 3 things for now. First of all, we will need a globe and we will need these 2 first of all, just to measure a couple of things, and the tiles. So the first warning is please don't use the gloves. So gloves are making it pretty hard to work with glue. So gloves are in the kit, it's because for grouting. So grout can affect your skin, so we use gloves when we're applying grout. We're gonna use either our hands because glue is not harmful, or the tweezer that you have in the kit, you can use it. And let's get started. First of all, our first challenge is opening the glue. So glue comes sealed. Let's open the cap. And you will see this is sealed, and also there is another seal on the other one as well. We have to open them. We had to seal it because it was leaking during the transportation. And I will use a scissor for it. I will just open it with my scissor like this, and you can tear it with your fingers, it's not harmful. And the other part is inside of the cap. I will just poke it with my tweezer and I took it out. So these 2 seals had to be taken off, and also we have to cut tip of the glue with our tweezers. With our scissors. I will just cut tip of the glue, very small hole it's opening, and it's ready to use right now. We open the seals and we cut tip of the glue and our glue is ready. The second part is very important. I will assemble my lamp to determine how far I need to go with my pattern. How do I do it is the bottom part. There are 2 clips. Sometimes it may be 3. So you have to put it in your glass globe. So you're gonna hold both clips and then slide it inside of the globe. And it's same for the top part. So I assembled it right now, and now I know how far I need to go with my tiles and beads. I will determine with a marker how far I can go with. So I will go ahead and draw all the way on the border of my lamp parts ends. I will just show it to you and you will see it in a second. Okay, so I draw the line and now I know. So by the way, how to disassemble it is pretty easy too. You just pull it fast and you just take it off. Same thing here too, just pull it. And now you can see the lines I draw. I will go with my pattern up to this line that I draw. If you don't have a marker, you can roughly go up to the edge and you can skip the edge with tiles and beads. I will not need these anymore. I will just put it on the side. And then I'm ready for my tiles. So how it works is we have pattern papers here. For example, there we have currently offering 3 different patterns, and one of them is this rainbow colors. I mean, 4 different colors. We call it rainbow or colorful. So you can follow the same pattern on the globe, or you have template papers here. You can design your own patterns, or you don't even have to be tied to this pattern template papers. You can write your own initial, you can do whatever you want. But the only point is we have to cover, as you can see on this lamp, we have to cover at least 3 big shapes on the globe, because we have enough beads just to cover in between these 3 star areas, in between these 3 star areas. If you leave too much empty space, I mean, if you use less tiles than you're supposed to use, you may be out of some beads. We have always a little bit more than you need, but if you leave half of the lamp empty without tiles, you may be out of beads. So I recommend use it as much as you can because we have more than enough tiles. I'll be following this pattern today, and you can follow accordingly on your pattern you choose. We have currently blue pattern and we have a green pattern on my back, you can see, and we have this one, it's colorful one. So let's get started. I will open my tiles on the table, and as you can see, I have 4 different colors, and I will be applying them as a star on my globe. It's first section, it is the first section, applying the tiles, and second section is beads, and third section is grouting. So there are total 3 sections in this class. We're gonna start with tiles, then we're gonna learn how to apply beads, and on the third section we're gonna apply grout to finish it up. First of all, it's very important how much glue we apply, and I will roughly determine midpoint horizontally and vertically and apply a little bit of glue, and I'll show it to you in the camera. And I will apply circular glue here. As you can see, I applied a little bit of glue in a circle area. I will add 6 tiles total to make this shape. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, as you can see here too. I'll apply exactly the same pattern 3 times around the globe. But as I said, you can design your own patterns too. I will start with dark blue. We have the least amount of dark blue and the most amount of red, because red is on the outer layer and dark blue is in the inner circle. So that's why we needed less dark blue than red. So that's why it's important to start with dark blue if you're following the pattern. If you're not following the pattern, you can feel free to start with any color. Let's get started. So I will apply 6 tiles. I'll stick it on my glue. As I said, I'm not using glows because glows are gonna be very hard to work with glue. And I don't recommend applying too much glue at this point, but it's important for them to stick on the glass. So that's why just enough glue. You will get used to it. And the first part, my first star is completed. And it's gonna look like this. I determine the midpoint horizontally and vertically and apply circular glue and glue in a circle shape. Then I add 6 dark blue tiles as I'm following the standard pattern. You can apply whatever you want. And I will keep adding glue and adding more colors. So this was my first layer, and I will apply a little bit more glue around it just enough for the second layer because it dries pretty quickly and I don't want to apply again and again. So I will keep going with my light blue until I cover all dark blue tiles here. I press on them for them to stick. And I will cover all the way around to complete my second star. I will do total 4 stars, 4 layers I mean, to complete the big star, as you can see on this pattern template. As I said, I want to repeat it multiple times. This is a standard pattern I'll be following, but you can design whatever you want and apply glue as much you need and then apply the tiles. So this is how it looks on the second layer. I'll keep going and completing 4 layers, and I will complete my lamp with 3 big tiles as I'm following the standard pattern. While we're working on tiles, I have a couple of tips for you. First of all, I keep them as close as possible, and you can always fix them because the glue is not dry yet. And if you started a little bit below the center line, you can move the whole thing, and you can always put them together. As I said, the glue is not dry yet. And if they slide, that means you may be applying too much glue. You should slow down a little bit. And you should add less glue if they're sliding too much. And you can always keep fixing them until the glue solidifies, and you can keep working on it. I will keep adding my third layer and fourth layer until I complete my pattern. You can experiment, as I said, as you wish. And I will complete 4 layer star, and I will add it 3 times on my globe, around the globe, to complete my standard pattern. For example, I have 3, in this example, I have 3 big stars here. I call them each a star. But I had even enough space for experimenting different shapes. You can see some of the shapes here, and I have a half star here, and different color. I had different color, but you can use the colors that you have to experiment with. So let's finish our tiles. We will get to the beads part. Also, another thing here, very important. These tiles are glass, and these are all hand cut, and these are sanded. Some of them may not be perfectly diamond shape, so you have more than you need, so that's why you can substitute good ones with the not the perfect shapes, but it's gonna be glass on glass, beautiful lamp at the end. These are not plastic, these are glass, as I said. Very beautiful art piece we'll have at the end. It requires some patience. It's not a super quick project. It's not easy to make something that you will use for years in 10 minutes. So it's going to take about 2 hours to complete in ideal, you can go and take more time to design your own shapes, patterns, color combinations that you will like. And I completed my third star. I will keep adding glue and the last layer, which is red. As I said, if you started little below or above the center line, you can move the whole shape slowly. And I will keep adding my red color here. And you don't have to catch up with me. Some people like to go slower, some people like to go faster. You can always pause the video and come back for the next steps. But I recommend listening the tips because it's gonna make it easier for you. These tips I learned it during years. They look very simple, but it makes it pretty easy to work with. Because for example, if you use gloves at this point, you will be super frustrated because gloves are gonna stick to glue and it's gonna make it super hard to work with. So that's why never use gloves at this point. For example, I can use tweezers at this point. You can use them if you don't want to use your fingers. It's gonna take a little bit more time, but you can use them on your globe. And it can get glued as well, so you will have to drop it and press on top of it. So how I like to do is I hold the tile and I keep the surface flat. So I just drop on it and then press and move it to the space. As I said, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but you can do whatever you want. Either technique will work. We initially put these tweezers to make it easier to take it from the template papers because we don't want to move them with our fingers while taking the tiles out. You can test things on it, then transfer it to your lamp. That's why tweezers could be useful over there, but I recommend you work with fingers. Also, for example, another tip, while I'm talking, the glue dried, I will reapply it because I don't want them to fall off from the lamp. So I will just go ahead and reapply if the glue dries. I kind of completed my first big star, and I'll show you in a second. They don't have to look perfect, and it'll look like one thing at the end when we complete it, and it's gonna reflect on the wall. It's gonna be a perfect one object at the end. It's not gonna be one tile or a group of tiles. It's gonna be one lamp at the end. So I completed my first big star. I call it big star, 4 layers. I will keep applying it 3 times around the globe in my standard pattern. If you have different design options, you can apply on top of it, and you can work with tiles before applying if you wanna test it out, the colors, the shapes, and you can go ahead and apply it on the template paper and transfer it. But I will apply it 3 times around the globe. I determine it with my fingers like this, where to put the like midpoints for the second and third star, and I'll be back when I complete the third star and we will go with beads. Alright, I completed my 3 big stars. If you completed your pattern, as you wish, that's perfect. If you followed me, you still have some space in between big 3 stars. And you can make mini heart shape if you like, or if you don't want, you can skip it, but I'll make a mini heart here from my leftover red tiles, and I'm gonna use only 3 tiles to make a heart. Let me finish it and I'll show it to you. So I have this mini heart here. It's here. Just from 3 tiles. You can make mini things, or you can make a fish. You can make big diamond shape from 4 tiles. You can skip it as well. So now, as we finish our tiles, we'll go and cover rest of the empty space with our beads. We have our glass beads here. By the way, for example, my heart is sliding, so I need to be careful until it solidifies a little bit. As you're making it, you have to fix whatever is sliding on the pattern. So we have this cup. This is normally for preparing the grout mix, but I will use it as a beads cup. So I will cut tip of the whole package, and I will put all my beads here. We have couple very important things to consider. One of them, beads will fall off if you don't go slow. You have to be very slow and steady at this point. And I'll show exactly how much beads you need to apply each time. And the second thing is, if they fall off, if you have a cat or dog, they can go after them. To prevent this, I highly recommend a tray under your lamp to collect all the falling beads. You can use your box as a tray. I will put this box, or the globe box, you can use it, and you can work on it. And all the falling beads will fall in the box, and then you can reuse them. Or if you have a different tray for falling beads, you can use it. I will not use it just for demonstration purposes, but I highly recommend putting a tray under it to collect all the falling beads. First of all, we had these lines determining the end point, the borders of our lamp, and I will start applying my glue from top to bottom for beads. You can follow me exactly at this point. I will cover a small area at first, but I will apply more glue than I applied for tiles because beads needs to sink in the glue. And I'm not using my gloves. As you can see, if I were using gloves, that would be very hard. So I will apply from the line that I put everywhere, and more glue than I applied for tiles. But I will cover about 1/3 of my, or maximum half of the height of your globe. Not much, just this much I applied, and I will wait about 10 seconds for it to solidify a little bit. And don't forget your tray, and I have my beads here, and I will get small pinches. Small pinches mean 6-7 beads at a time. Don't put it with this one here because they're gonna slide like crazy. It's very simple. If you go slow, you're gonna finish it very fast. So I will get a very small pinch, like maybe 7, 8 maximum beads, and I will just drop on top of my glue. And you can gently move it. Try not to touch much to the glue because it's gonna make your fingers very glued. You cannot prevent it 100%, but you can prevent mostly. I will keep getting small pinches of beads, and I just sprinkle on it. As I said for the tiles before, if the glue dries while you're working on it, you can reapply it. It's not gonna be bad, so that's gonna be okay. It's just a redundant step, but if it dries, you can reapply it. And I will add very small pinches steadily, consistently, until you cover everywhere under the line that we draw before. Or if you didn't draw a line, you can go back to the video, beginning of the video, and you can watch that one again. Or let's repeat it. You can skip these curvy part because it's gonna be under the lamp part. It's not necessary to cover that part. So I will go and steadily stick all my beads. Slow. If you go slow, you're gonna be happy. And no gloves, please. If you feel like you wanna find a creative way to do it faster, I've tried it many ways. None of them are working. And last time, one of my students wanted to apply it very quickly. So he applied glue all over at once, and he roll it on the rollover on the beads. But then it was pulled by gravity, as it's a round shape, right? Everywhere was falling off. So that's why if you go slow and steady, it's gonna dry on time. So when you rotate it, it's not gonna fall. So for example, I kind of cover some part of it as I'm explaining at the same time. Some part of the glue dried, so I may need to reapply it, but I'm going pretty slow and I'm not suffering at all. If you go fast, it's gonna be suffering experience. And if you need any help, you can always send us a question from hello@craftstories.com. I'll be replying directly. You should have our contact information in the kit as well. For example, I wanna reapply a little bit more glue because it dried. I will keep applying glue in small areas and wait 10 seconds to solidify a little bit, then apply my beads. Small pinches until we cover everything. Please use trace. I'm repeating many of them many times, but some people may even miss. So it's very critical information, critical tips. So that's why I feel like I need to repeat it. As you can see, it kind of covered almost half of the height, and it took us about 5 minutes. If you go steady and small pinches of beads, you will cover everywhere. And if they slide, if they go on top of each other, I always check it while I'm working on it. If they go on top of each other, I press them, because if they dry like this, they're gonna stay like this forever. That's why I like to keep them on a flat surface, and it doesn't matter if they are laid on the side or upright. Doesn't matter. It's just random on my case. And once it's dry, it's not gonna matter at all. And I will go ahead and cover all the empty space with beads, and we will go to grouting section. But please don't apply grout yet. I have tips over there too. And we will have to wait our globe or tiles and beads for at least overnight to be apply grout, because if we apply right away, it's gonna take off most of the tiles and beads. We want a very solid glue situation here in order to apply grout all around it. So don't apply before I get to that point. So let's cover everywhere and get back here, and let's talk about the grouting after. So welcome back. I complete my lamp. I completed my stars and also the beads. And I waited overnight, and it's fully dry now. And some of them may still fall, which is totally fine. I catch one of them, and a couple of them may fall if you shake it to determine which one will fall. And you can also re-glue them and wait a little more, but I'm gonna just cover it. A few of them can fall. That's totally normal, because I mean mine 10 of them fall, but that's okay. 10 is a good number. You can always cover if there's a big empty space. And we have grout in this Ziploc, and we have cup to mix it. And I will open my grout carefully. At this point you can put gloves. I will put in a second. So I will just add my grout into my mixing cup. And I have water here. I will mix it with water. Plus I have a cup of water. I will use it to clean up. And let's get started with mixing. I will add my water very slowly into my mixing cup. And I will mix it after I add a little bit of it. Very little I add it. You don't want to add more than you need. So it's very solid right now. I will add a little more. We have to stop at toothpaste consistency. We don't want super dry, we don't want super liquid as well. So that's why slowly, not too much, and I'm mixing it in my cup. It is still dry, but it becomes liquid very fast. So that's why very slowly you add water and keep mixing it. It's gonna be toothpaste consistency soon. I'll add a little bit. I add very incremental amount of water. I'm almost there. You cannot see it, but I'll show you in a second. So this is very thick right now, very thick. I will add a little more until I got toothpaste consistency. I don't want it to become liquid very fast. I'm there. Nice. I'll show you the consistency right now. I mix it well. Also, you can use a tablecloth while working with this one. Okay, perfect. This is a perfect consistency. It's sliding, as you can see. Not super liquid, slowly sliding. That's a perfect consistency. And I will put my gloves at this point. I've been warning you not to wear it for a while. Now it's time. Let's wear them. So this will protect your skin from rashes. Every skin is different. Your skin may be sensitive. Let's put them. All right, I'm ready. So what I want to do is I want to use the spoon first, and I want to get some and spread on the length. But don't forget it. This step is after you waited overnight. You waited overnight, and next day you can apply it. By the way, it's also, I didn't tell you before, but it's not mandatory. I think with grout is so much better because it diffuses the light, and it becomes nighttime lamp, or I mean in daytime you can use it as well, but the light doesn't bother you with grout. Without grout it may be pretty bright. So I go and spread it everywhere. You can add a little bit on the curve, but not much, a little bit. And I will keep applying until it goes all over the gaps. This lamp is all about being patient. This lamp is all about being patient with the process. And I covered most of it. I will keep covering everything. So I applied on most of it. As you can see, it's a very thick layer. Now I can use my hands even to even up all the surface. So I can go ahead and spread with my hand everywhere and make sure that grout goes all the empty space. At this point, some of the beads may fall. That's okay. So I make sure that it goes everywhere. And as you can see, I have some excess amount in my hand. I will just put it back in the mixing cup. I don't want it here on my hand, on my lamp, because it's gonna make it easier if we take excess grout from the table with our hand. I will just take most of the excess amount. And as you can see, it became pretty white. Now it's time to clean it with our sponge. So I took most of the excess amount. Okay, I will just work a little bit more detailed. I will take most of it to make it my job easier when I'm cleaning with sponge. So this much is fine. So you can use even your palm to get excess amount. So I clean it as much as I can. So I'm gonna remove this one. It's making it hard for me to work with. And you can switch the gloves. And yeah, let's switch the gloves. It's gonna be better. Because we're gonna touch grout anyway. So I switched the gloves. All right, perfect. So I have my sponge. Sponge is gonna play an important role. I'm gonna hold my lamp like this. My fingers are in the globe, and I will dip my sponge in the water. And I'm not gonna use it as it is. I have to squeeze it, because if I don't squeeze it, this can take off some of the glue even next day. The glue fully dries in couple days, and I squeeze the water, and I will go ahead and wipe all the way, and you will see the difference right now. So I clean a little bit, and I take, as you can see, it's already there compared to here. And I will keep clean my lamp with my sponge, and I will dip it in the water each time, and I will carefully take off most of the residue. And as you can see, it's already very different from here to here, and I will clean all the way with my sponge. And this will not be my only cleaning. I always clean multiple times, because after the first cleaning, it still dries a little bit on the tiles and beads. I clean it in couple hours, and next day to take every excess grout. Also, if you don't clean, you applied the grout and you didn't clean it right after, it's gonna dry and it's gonna make almost impossible to take the grout off. So that's why I recommend cleaning right after you applied the grout. And as you can see, it's already looking beautiful. You can take most of the grout on the tiles and beads. And you can switch side to make sure that you clean beautifully. As I said, don't apply grout. I mean, at this point it's useless, but don't apply grout right after you make the lamp. You have to wait overnight until glue dries, and then I will also clean multiple times in couple days. You can use different paper towel, like wet wipes, non-alcohol based, normal water-based lamp, paper towel, so you can wipe it out. We completed our lamp. It's a very exciting moment. As I said, you can always re-clean it, and here it is. All right, we complete our lamp, and it's an exciting moment. Let's assemble it and let's see how it looks. I have my lamp parts here and also my LED bulb. Here, I will open this one and you can mount it here and you can hold your lamp like this. Oh, you can put all your fingers inside because if you put one of them out, you can take off some of the grout that you just applied. And I will hold both of the clips together and put it inside of the globe and slide it slowly. And top part is the same as well. Put both of the clips and put it inside and we complete our lamp. Now you can plug it and see the result. If you wanna clean it, you can clean while it's assembled. And in some reason, if you wanna deassemble it, it's pretty easy. You just pull it very quick. And you can always reassemble it. Thank you so much for joining my Turkish Mosaic Lamp class. My name is Nur again, and I hope you enjoyed and you have a beautiful lamp right now. If you can leave us a review, we would be super happy. We're a very small company. We're working hard to prepare kits beautifully and instructions. We care about it so much. So if you can leave us a review, we'll be so happy. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and we will get back to you as soon as possible with a solution. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Thank you.